Well, and just one last thing that I want to say. When people say I didn't make this movie for you, that is the biggest cop out. That is them realizing that they did make a piece of shit. And that's like saying, I'm not, but so are you, or like my dad can beat up your dad. It is the most childish. Like Brie Larson said the same thing about friggin' Captain Marvel. Like this movie isn't made for white dudes or whatever it is, and it's like, well,
Yeah, that was stupid.
But those are not the only people, but that's 80% of the comic book buying audience right there. Like, so what do you mean not made? Like, why isn't it made for everyone? Like, why does your movie not have mass appeal if it's hundreds of millions of dollars? And even if it's not, why shouldn't it have mass appeal? And that's the fun, like doing messaging just in a subtle way. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Nick, but I think if you do messaging subtly, and people can sort of like think for themselves and draw their own conclusions, like the early Romero stuff. Like, I just think that has more like longevity and value in the end, because it challenges the audience to meet the creator part way and to think and become hopefully a little more intelligent. Hopefully.
Yeah, you have to trust your audience to not need to be bludgeoned with whatever you're trying to get through to them, because then at that point it's all you can see in a movie. But there is a fine line to walk here, and like, this is I saw you tweet about this the other day, Lee, and like this is a hot button issue these days, and like quite frankly, two things can be true. I am so sick and tired of everybody crying woke over everything just because they didn't like it, or just because they're looking for it. I hate that word. I think that word oftentimes is used as a shield because you don't actually know how to verbalize what it is about something that you don't like. You just use that as your like cop out. So I get sick and tired of hearing that. And that can be true while also at the same time, a movie like Black Christmas just being, I wouldn't even use woke for it. I would use another word that might get me canceled, but like, it's just, it's stupid. It's dumb. It's every single thing that's wrong with film. Like, it's just the movie's bad, the performances are bad, there's no blood, there's no surprise, there's no connection to the original Black Christmas. You're essentially attacking, like I said, half of your potential audience from the jump. Like, everything about it is what's wrong with film. So like, it's a terrible movie. And I remember a couple of years ago I did a watch along on my channel because like people kept talking about it, and I was like, fine, I'll give it one more chance, but like, I'm gonna hate this, and actually pissed off some people that were like in the live chat, like, I'm not watching the rest of this. Like, I actually like this movie, and I'm like, you like dog shit. I don't know what else to say. Like, I can meet someone halfway sometimes and be like, like, I like Jason X, and Jason X is not a very good movie, but I have a lot of fun with it. I can meet people halfway with movies like that, but like Black Christmas 2019, that's just a bad film. Like, it's just bad.
It's offensively stupid. It is stupid.
Well, this is what I posted. I have it right here, actually. And it was a spur of the moment thing, and I won't like out the channel or anything, but I look at my feed every day, and Alien Earth had just come out, and you know the channels that I'm talking about, but there was like one channel, and it said Gen Z Alien Earth or something like that. And I was just like, I mean, it's currency at this point. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, you should have just been like, slow month on YouTube, huh? Because like you clearly just want the click.
That's the problem.
That's what it is.
Currency. People depend on that word, and they depend on content that happens to fall into that category. And even if it's like 2%, or fuck that, even if they've never even seen the show or the movie or whatever, they still, they got to make videos. And you know what? It's your channel. You're grinding. You got to do what you got to do. But, I'm just calling it like I see it. And so just spur of the moment, I was just thinking, I was like, I'm so sick of everything being narrowed down to woke, no woke, Gen Z, DEI, etc. In film criticism. If Alien Earth came out 10 years ago, it wouldn't be an issue. But because of the times, we're grasping at breadcrumbs. When we critique, can we stop, please? And I'm speaking as, you guys critique movies, and I'm speaking as somebody who gets on YouTube and likes to talk about movies. I have enough on my plate to keep me busy without having to depend on you know, that work or that word or a certain niche to just constantly beat it over the head. And what's crazy is then you go into these comments and people lap it up like they have no brain to think for themselves whatsoever. They
people
have to just eat
that
up
have not
everything
seen
they
it.
say.
People that have not seen it and have no intention of seeing it. And I think that's the issue is you're basically telling people what you think they want to hear. That's what these channels are doing. And it's a shame because I honestly think they're being disingenuous. And so, as somebody that like I'm relatively in the middle. I mean, I would say I'm relatively conservative, although I'm in the middle. So I don't subscribe to a cult on either side. They both make me sick as shit. The word woke, I don't like using it because I think it's the same as like calling everyone that disagrees with you a Nazi or whatever. It's like the right version of saying Nazi. Like you said, it's lost all meaning. I've been watching Alien Earth. I don't know what they're talking about. But when they say Gen Z, do they just mean that like young actors are in the movie or in the show? Because
they can't be in a show. That's what they're saying. I need my characters in my Alien movie to be at least 30 and up. For some reason, they get all upset when somebody's below the age of 30 in an Alien.
Well, hey, Timothy Oliphant is finally showing a little bit of age. He's finally aged. Something happened. He was like the ageless wonder for a while, and he's walking around Alien Earth. I shit you not, guys. Like Michael Myers from H4 with the blonde hair in the school. That's what he looks like in his jumpsuit in Alien Earth. I'm like getting strong, like messed up mask H4 vibes. And I don't know. I'm enjoying Alien Earth. I like the slow burn. I've heard some people call it a snooze fest. I prefer my Alien movies to be slow and methodic and to build a lore. Like the first one and Prometheus are probably my favorites because I like the lore building and the slowness of them. I dig it. And you know what's crazy is I was listening to the music, or I'm watching the show and I'm hearing the music and I'm like, is that the theme from Patton, the George C. Scott movie? Because they do that bum, 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 bum. They do that kind of thing. And then I look it up and I'm like, oh my God, Jerry Goldsmith, the guy that wrote the score for Alien, is the same guy that wrote the score for Patton. So even though it's in a different key, it's like this must be an homage, to
you definitely
Patton
hear a lot of
they're
those
bringing
Alien
in.
cues.
Yeah, and on that topic, just to put a fine bow on it, I think, guys, for the three of us and anybody watching, if you like, all you have to do every now and then is just like take a step back and just be like, imagine if I was one of those people. Like, imagine if I went into like everything going like, is there going to be an African-American person or an Asian person or a gay person? God forbid. And if so, I can't watch it. And I have to tell everybody else not to watch it online.
People say that now.
Imagine being that
there
miserable.
Is one black person,
I'm out of there.
Imagine being, honestly, imagine being that miserable. Like, I can't do it. Like and it's, I've always found it ironic too, because it's like, those are the people too that preach the like, oh, no one gives a shit about your feelings. Like, oh, crybaby snowflake. And it's like, you guys cry about more than anything, like more than anyone. I swear to God, about the dumbest shit. Like, so at the end of the day, I don't care what side you're on, just like certain buzzwords just to get yourself clicks and to get eyeballs on you and to generate conversation, even though really all you're trying to do is stir up shit. Like, you're not actually trying to start a dialogue, because if you were doing that, you would want to, I don't know, start a dialogue. Like, actually, like, let's build towards something here. Let's bounce ideas off of each other. No, it's literally just like, oh, fuck this. That sucks. You guys suck. Hashtag canceled. It's like, bro, I'm done. I'm done.
And here's the thing too, is you would buy yourself some credit if you were fair about it. Call it out when it's like Black Christmas 2019. And when it's not that way and it's well measured and it's handled, I hate to break it to everyone, but like, Black people and women have had like starring roles in movies and TV for like 60 years almost right now. So it's not a new thing. Everyone wants to act like it's a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's been happening for a while. So stop acting like it's so precious. And I can't watch those channels that just rip on everything, because I'm like, oh, you're trying to pre-suck the joy out of me. And then also I'm like, what the fuck are you creating other than content? Like, are you out there writing movies and making your own shit? Because if you're not, kindly shut the fuck up.
But that's the thing. That's the thing, Davey. It's like, what are you creating? What you're creating is a shitstorm on the internet, because that is your entire purpose in life. but you actually like it's annoying, man. And I don't give a shit where you come from. Like if you are vehemently attacking anything on and assuming that something is on one side or the other, like Davey said, calling everybody a Nazi or calling everything woke. It's just like, that's just you telling me I'm too dumb to have an articulate conversation with you.
Yeah.
That is just you saying buzzword.
That's what I was going to say. It's buzzword.
It's just like, get out of here.
Yeah, I lack nuance. Just wear a shirt that says that. I lack nuance.
I can boil it down to you in 2 words or 2 reasons why a movie or a TV show sucks. And this is not just in the past, 5 years, that era. No, this is since movies started. Shit writing, shit characters. I don't care what show you don't like. Those 2 things will prevail over everything. And it's always been that way since movies have started. And now we've just created a buzzword and it's a currency. So I think that's a good way to tie that up. But yeah, it's shit writing, shit characters.
Yeah, and how many people didn't go see Thunderbolts because they thought it was going to be some like girl boss thing? And it's the best comic book movie we've gotten this year. Easy. Yeah. Like, I think easily. For me, of course, that's my opinion, but
Wait,
I'm just like,
which one?
Thunderbolts. I'm just like, give it a chance.
I didn't see it.
Like, I gave it a chance, and it hit me on an emotional way that like no comic book movie ever has. I shit you not.
Well, that movie had some heavy themes,
stuff.
And I think a lot of people like yourself, Davey, were going to resonate with it for sure.
Yeah,
which is and the movie can do that. That's proper messaging, if you ask me.
And it had humor that didn't undercut the seriousness, and the action was still good. So you didn't have to sacrifice one for the other. But a lot of people didn't go see it because they see like, a bunch of women in the cast or whatever the hell they see, or, but I'm like, holy shit, I saw that movie 3 times in the theater. Love that shit.
Well, hello there. You just watched an outrageous clip from the Hit the Bricks podcast. I really hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more clips, you can click here or you can click here. And you can just have yourself a ball, all right? And also follow the Hit the Bricks podcast on Spotify as well. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.